Yes, the recording has started, Sayan. You can start the session.
Okay. Good afternoon, all. By giving honor to the respected coordinator of PhD coursework 2021, organized by SP College Pune, as a mouthpiece of all PhD scholars participate in this program. This is my immense pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker, Dr. Virendra Nagarale. Dr. Virendra Nagarale is professor in the Department of Geography at SNDT Women's University, Mumbai, Pune campus. He has completed Master of Science in Geography from former University of Pune, now SPPU, and did doctoral research on groundwater hydrology and management from North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. He has 25 years of teaching experience at undergraduate and postgraduate level. He is received a Professor B. Hemamalini Eminent Geographer Award 2019 by NAGI in December 2019 and also received a Best Teacher Award honored by Pune Municipal Corporation PMC Pune. Besides guiding research students, he has published more than 35 research papers in reputed journals and presented more than 45 research papers in international, national and other conferences. He was chairperson, Board of Studies in Geography, University Standing Committee, and also a member of Management Council, Senate, Academic Council, Grievances Committee at SNDT Women's University, Mumbai. He has also worked as member of various university authorities at the University of Pune, now SPPU, University of Mumbai, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Aurangabad, and presently associated with many universities and institutions across the country. Professor Nagarale presented his research papers in our country as well as in abroad. He has guided 14 MPhil and 11 PhD students successfully and is currently guiding 3 PhD students. He has completed 2 research projects funded by UGC and 1 project funded by Icssr, New Delhi. He is also a live member and executive member of various professional organizations of geography and other interdisciplinary subjects association. He organized 1 international, 2 national and 4 state level conferences and workshops. Professor Nagarale also worked as coordinator for several IIRS Dehradun Remote Sensing GIS outreach program. Sir is also associated with University of Kalyani, West Bengal. Personally, I met Sir there in the year of 2019 when Sir visited Kalyani city in West Bengal. Now welcome Dr. Nagarale Sir to start today's session on geomorphic assessment of landforms for groundwater potential. Thank you, sir. On behalf of all students, thank you. Please start.
Thank you, Sayan. Good afternoon, all of you. I think this is second day or third day of your core research work. Second or third day?
Fourth day, sir.
Fourth day.
We started on the first.
Okay. So, see, my topic is already discussed. So, before starting the topic, good afternoon to all of you. This topic, which I'm going to be discuss and present, basically this is a one project's outcomes, major research project which is funded by UGC. So before starting the actual lecture, I want to say something about most of you may be a assistant professor or maybe sometime assistant professor grade 1 or 2. So you maybe know there is a till 6th of September there is a Icssr program, the program for the projects. One is a project program for major projects and minor project. Second is a program which is research program having the various themes. You can apply because presently they ask only the online application and it is possible. Most of the time our geographers, geography teachers, geography, you can say assistant professors, they think this is the Icssr, Social Science Council. So Social Science Council means geography, only the human part, no. You can correlate with your hydrology, you can correlate with the meteorological aspect, climate, geomorphology, but your subject to correlate with the societal benefit. So my actually encourage those who can apply or those who are already applied such type of projects can give a various idea for the research whatever you require, and that is not possible to from your regular source of income, or sometimes there are limitations from the institute. They can provide you, they're not able to provide your financial support for presentation. So such type of projects are important, so you may apply later. You can see the Icssr website. There are two. One is the project. Under the project, there is the assist. Most of you all are eligible only for the project, because for the us for the research program, PhD is compulsory. You can apply with your PhD colleague, but as a co-director, you can work as. So here, before starting this topic is actually part of project. So let us start with that aspect and how just a minute. Is screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is a
Yes.
this is a topic, and this topic for the project entitled Groundwater Zonation using Landform Characteristics in Kara River Basin, Pune district, Maharashtra. So I applied this project in 2013, and the project awarded me in the month of January, and later the output of this project in terms of PhD, the two candidates they have awarded PhD under this project, and number of publications are also 5-6 publications can able to, and presentation. So like this, the projects, minor project you can able to. So this can give a guideline, and not necessarily the project maybe for your PhD topic, the research concept. So these are the project groundwater zonation by using the landform characteristic Kara River Basin, and that's why I have given some idea this objective methodology and everything. Now start with this. This is actual topic. See, assessment of groundwater resources in river basin with the help of landform. So let us start with groundwater resources. Water resource. We start with the water resource and how this water resource and geomorphology, because the course subject assigned to me as a geomorphology. So how geomorphology and the especially the groundwater and landforms, geomorphic landform, how they have association, how you can make out the potentials in groundwater potential zones, prospect zones with the help of geomorphic characteristics. So this is a slide which is showing the India's population percentage, a 70% population, and having the only 4% of renewable water resources as compared to the 2.6% of our land area, and to how we can have various problems, not in terms of only the water, surface water, but groundwater. So this is a general idea about the water. So start with the core subject, geomorphology. The point to be consideration for the today's your presentations. So the study of groundwater potential zonation, which is required, the understanding of various subject, sub-subject, but basically in terms of geomorphology, you need to have idea about the origin, occurrence, and movement of that water resources, which maybe resources, maybe sometimes surface resources, or in terms of groundwater resources, they are directly or indirectly controlled by the various landforms present in that particular catchment area. Here, the Kara Basin catchment area I have selected for that particular project. So, how the various landforms in Kara Basin are directly responsible for the origin, occurrence, and movement of groundwater. The flow of groundwater means how you can in geomorphical context or in the with reference to geomorphical, landforms give a clue for subsurface water condition because very below or beneath the earth the groundwater geology is required, but they can give the landforms can, and though that's why on the basis of landform how the prospect of water and groundwater you can decide this is they have to consider for. And then the, how you can categorize the landform, a particular river catchment or particular your study area. So which are the structural landform, which are the denudation landform, and which are the depositional. Because the structural, denudational, and depositional landform, they have their uh, different type of characteristics for potentially groundwater. So present work we have to discuss about the groundwater occurrence in relation or in context to the landform. So, how geomorphology and groundwater? What is the role between geomorphology and groundwater? Because geomorphology, basically, the first definition when you read the book, maybe not, and the landform definition of a landform given by the Davis, William Morris or Davis. Landform is a function of structure, process, and time. So, so landform is the structure, which type of structure, the process type. This is a basic definition, not for the geomorphic specialization. And like that, how geomorphology can be a specific tool to describe and evaluate the environment in which water circulate, water penetrate or point is for groundwater situation. So, groundwater and geomorphology. Among that particular aspect, if you see the particular landform, infiltration, soil moisture content, angle of slope, and relief. These four are the important geomorphological factors which determine or which can give clue for the groundwater potentials or groundwater surface. So, as a general or as a geographer, the comparatively shallow water groundwater may occur while when there is alluvial or river beds or the deposits are there in the bedrock, and obviously the deep or penetrate water penetrate in the hills or so like that. So one can justify the geography, specifically fluvial geography, contribute the location of recharge or intake areas of groundwater and prediction research in the various geomorphic groundwater zones in that. There's particular features like dikes or faults, which are observed in very particular regions that become a barrier for the horizontal movement of groundwater, and that's why the vertical movement is accumulated in that particular. So again, the characteristics of that particular landform in terms of soil, soil texture, permeability, all these parameters we are going to be discussed in next slides and next presentation. So runoff and recharge are those important. So how you calculate runoff? Here I have taken an example of basin area. The one of the case study we have considered for our sample that Gunjavani basin, and that basin area for the Gunjavani basin is 406. So calculated runoff with the help of infiltration method, and this is a recharge by the again there are 2-3 methods for calculating runoff, again 2-3 methods for the calculating recharge, and on the basis of runoff and recharge you can have balance groundwater potential. Means it comes if you minus runoff and recharge equation, it gives a balanced groundwater. But balanced groundwater is there. In which area this groundwater, balanced groundwater you can observe. Total groundwater, balanced groundwater you can calculate. The which sectors, which region, which zones. So for this, we need to be categorized. For this geomorphology study, as mentioned earlier, the landforms, and specifically landforms in the three main uh, characters or categories like structural landform, denudation landform, and deposition landform. So how this structural landform, what do you mean by structural landform? So how these landforms are responsible for the groundwater potential or groundwater flow, how the denudation landform, and how this trivial deposition landforms are having the very good prospect in terms of groundwater potential. Why this structural landform not suitable or having the very you can say the very moderate or low prospect structural landform. So this three types of landform. We have restricted ourselves for the study considering the project scope and the time limit. You can extend, one can extend this particular, but keep in mind because how this type of study or landform and groundwater prospect can be applied to a particular river or a catchment area or basin. So the various landforms, and these are not all landforms, but on the basis of geology and geographical study, the prospects which are already mentioned, of course, these are the general characteristics. Structural hills are there, so groundwater prospect is poor. If the valley fields are there, so very good groundwater prospect. Alluvial plains. So this short form is used for the delineating the region for that particular catchment area. We delineate the region and how this groundwater prospect in that particular region associated with the different landforms and prospect in terms of geomorphology. So this is basic idea or basic concept for the groundwater potential, geomorphology, landform, and the various landform characteristics and their prospect. Okay. So I already informed you that two students they have completed the PhD with different aspects. So they have different. So I have two, three presentations. How you can able to complete some doctoral research as well as from that particular project particular, suppose the soil characteristic and groundwater potential, suppose the water flow means water fluctuation and groundwater potential. So it can be a core area as a groundwater potential with sub area. So there are assess the groundwater resources is a main objective, but subsequent objectives are morphometric characteristics with the groundwater correlations because this is part we deal with the geomorphology. For the geomorphology of the particular basin or catchment area, you need to be study the morphometric characteristic. So objective obviously first need to be study the morphometric characteristics, then assess the quality of groundwater for various domestic, agriculture, health, and maybe here I have mentioned only two. So to assess the quality, then correlation between the soil characteristic and groundwater potential. And the last, which is the main theme, that the groundwater availability in various potential zones with the help of landform, that is low zone, moderate zone, and high potential zone. Means this all objective you can able to produce a different articles with detailed study on that particular catchment area. So this is a study area which been undertaken for the research of project, and then this half part upper Kara basin for one student in terms of landforms, and another student she used only the soil characteristics for the land use land covers with soil characteristics for the prospect. So these two different you can do. So this is actually study area location Kara. You most of you maybe those who are not from Pune region all know the Kara. Kara is a river and a great writer Prakyatri. His an autobiography you may know the Karecha Pani. So that Kara in Saswat, Jejuri. So this Purandar Tehsil, this location is there. The topo sheet is required because without topo sheet it's not possible to study the geomorphology. Though the new technique, remote sensing and GIS and satellite images using, but the main you have to use the topo sheet, and topo sheet gives the real views, and that's why the upper catchment area and the location and the rainfed area, because the Purandar Tehsil and the particular uh, urban places are only two, three places, and how these are affected. Okay, this you can see the location map, this particular digital elevation map of Upper Kara River Basin, and this is output from the Pune district, Maharashtra, for those who are not from the Maharashtra or the local region. This is location map in the Maharashtra. You can see the Mumbai, Pune, Nashik, and here you can have this particular location of Kara River Basin and see the digital elevation model. Of course, you are all are uh, quite new generation. I can say the new generation having, I think, 10 years or maybe some 5 to 10 years experience. So you are most having the expert in the all these softwares and this TM digital elevation model which is required in geometry. This is a geological formation with the help of GHDM and GSI map. Have make this map available because this formation, ammonite formation, polar formation, basaltic, we can say this is a climatic condition. The map showing the rainfall and temperature already the rainfed area is there, and temperature you can say the average 30 to 35 degree annual temperature, and this is the topo sheet. So how this Kara basin and the total entire Kara basin up to the Nira. So this topographical map, especially the crease upper area, very useful to see the particular Kara river geomorphic details in 70 and 80, because in topo sheet you have that particular detail. Now the fringe area and nearby the, yeah, this is you can able to found the changes. So impact of urbanization even you can observe. This is a slope map, so there is no need to say how to calculate the slope map, uh, how to calculate that DM and other things. So this is slope map. This is soil types, of course, the detailed soil types and soil characteristics with all contents. This is a general maps. The detailed map you can able to see. Methodology, which methodology we undertook. You can modify the methodologies. The methodology based on the various aspect and the situation, and then whatever. I think I remember in 2013-14, the auger is not available even the Savitribai Phule Pune University. So I request Professor Gaikwad, and he gives me the auger which is available in SP College, and we took the samples, soil samples in that. So this is the methodology. So preparatory phase, which is a base map preparation with the help of satellite survey of India topography, then acquisition of satellite data for the accurate location and the minor and major changes, acquisition of secondary data, particularly in groundwater um, data which is available from GSDA, actual primary data also we collected for different purpose. In second phase, this is a broad phases, analytical phase for so cartographic analysis we have already made, and you can do that characteristic, then field analysis, the field surveys, ground truthing for the morphological characteristics, the laboratory analysis for the groundwater sample as well as the soil samples and generation. This is the entire map. And of course, you may visit in our website, and entire this project is available with our website, SNDT Women's History Department of Geography. The entire project is there on the website. You can see that project. This is drainage pattern map of from first order to sixth order drainage pattern. This is basin morphometry. But here, actually which type of application, which type of method we consider for the groundwater resources. Before that, geomorphological, because the geomorphological landform characteristic or landform analysis for the groundwater potential. That's why this morphometric aspects I'm showing you. This is drainage, then stream order, stream length, and this bifurcation ratio, and how these values are depend, because if the values are high, what it indicates was, this is not a big, this is, that is a basic geomorphology characteristic. This is a linear aspect, these are the aerial aspects. So total upper Kara basin and the relief, what is the elongation ratio, and how this uh, circulatory affect on the groundwater potential, and then the geomorphology. So now in the first part, we as geographic aspect before ground truthing on the basis of topo sheet, all these drainage density, DEM, and everything. Later, we select the location points for the groundwater sample. Why we selected groundwater sample? This is not only for the groundwater quality, but groundwater fluctuations are important, because whatever the groundwater potential on the basis of landform is not sufficient to give the actual idea. So these are the sample wells from where we collect the water, we analyze the water for agriculture, groundwater quality, for agriculture purpose, for domestic purpose, for health purpose, and means potability, non-potability also we have discussed. But the same time, all these sample wells, pre-monsoon and post-monsoon data also available to give the clue for the groundwater potential. The which area we are giving the high phosphate, really groundwater is high, we can observe with the help of the groundwater flow and fluctuation pre and post monsoon. That's why all these wells are, locations are selected, and these are the then qualities, chemical analysis, and uh, these are the location that villages from Zendewadi to this Jejuri, all these with their GPS location. Then this chemical parameters like from pH to sodium, you can say have the calcium. So all these samples, and then we plot this all maps, and then overlap like this pH variation in the study area from less than 7 to 8.5. So which area is having the highest pH level, which area is having the moderate pH level in the study area, like that. This is pH, you can see this is pH and area. If you code it, this is air conductivity. You can say the area which is having conductivity, and again the volume. Then this is the total dissolved salts. So total dissolved salt gives the view for the potability, whether this is potable water or the if the beyond the permissible limit. So this can be used for other purposes. So like that, you can see this is a total hardness. So values of hardness and the area. This is actually when you see, this is actually the confluence area. So you can see the hardness. Then this is the calcium variation. Then you can have the potassium. Then magnesium. And then this is sodium. This is nitrate, sulfur. This is chlorine, hydro, SCCO3. and all these parameters with their permissible limit and have zones for groundwater quality with potable zones, non-potable zones or less potable, and potable in critical condition. To plot these zones with all parameters, there's only the chemical parameters, chemical values of pH form. So these zones and the location which comes under which type of prospect area of groundwater means the high prospect area which under the potable zone or non-potable zone or less potable zone. How you correlate and your research will be useful for the societal benefit. Hence you can use. The same way the groundwater prospect is high but not potable in terms of uh, not only the human but the animals also. So that can be used for the domestic purpose or agriculture purpose. Like that, potable and non-potable, potable for the human beings, then domestic. Like this, you can have one parameter because landform analysis for groundwater potential. This is not only one objective for this geomorphic assessment. The same time groundwater quality, the same time soil characteristic, the same time landform. So that's why I'm showing you all this with the help of groundwater samples, potability and non-potability with chemical reaction. And again, suitability for the agriculture, the sodium absorption rate, SAR values are calculated. Then RSC, sodium residual sodium carbonate values are discussed. And of course, all this with the help of expert, some agriculture colleges we use, and even geology department, SPPU, they give us all these values. Of course, they charge their expertise, and we can able to complete all this aspect. And the SAR value association in that particular because if you see this quality of water, good quality for irrigation purposes, because the water which is not available for the drinking. So for irrigation purposes, all water is not useful because that again harmful for the certain crops and even the soil quality. That's why uh, the values we have plotted here values, and on the basis of values, which area you think is critical in terms of irrigation purposes. Like that again is the RSA ratio values also there, and on the basis of this again plotting is there. Then paper diagram is also calculated for the sanity. You can see the sanity diagram and paper diagram for the sanity means how this on the basis of electric conductivity, the quality that excellent quality values are in between 100 to 250, and have plotted all this value with uh, qualitative maps for the health, qualitative maps of particular water samples for the agriculture, the qualitative maps, qualitative in terms of the maps. Quantity we quantified, we categorize in 3 4 categories. For the potability only the 3 categories are, but for others we categorize the 4 5, you can see. And then the texture means soil characteristic. So the which area having the clay loam soil, clay soil, gravelly soil. Again, you can see later how this soil and that particular landform and landform water prospect, groundwater prospect. So this is soil texture map on the basis of soil analysis. This is land cover map, which is used for groundwater prospect and which type of land is there. Means particularly you can see the agriculture, the yellow you can see, and the groundwater prospect. the settlement area having the groundwater prospect and quality of groundwater. So this landform with all aspect in terms of groundwater, not only the quantification of groundwater, to calculate the groundwater and landform, because that mere study is not give the proper benefit to the society. So after completion of project, we recommended. So this area, we are not a geologist or government that GSDA, but on the basis of because 3 years we frequently visited that year, and after our visiting the 2 3 peoples, we always take a follow what is their opinion more for the first and second time. So they took only the samples, now they are not coming, but pre-monsoon, post-monsoon, at least 6 times we visited there. And then after our visit, the farmers and that particular, we asked them, see the water from this well and water from this well, these are our observations on the basis of our study in terms of groundwater only, not surface water. Because is it true? Then say it's okay. Because they are not believe on the academicians who are working on particular research. They believe on only the scientists or the government agencies. But you able to prove. That's why for the societal benefit, we did such type of research. So here the electric conductivity, here this parameter is important. Here this is affecting your air. Here the chlorine is like that, and later, oh sir, what you are telling is somewhat acceptable. So like that, that's why I'm showing you now actually groundwater potential and landforms. So the landforms, the dikes and the lineaments were already mentioned in my first and second slide, because the barriers, horizontal flow of landform, create the barriers, and that time the vertical flow is. So in geological system, we identified the landforms, lineaments, then structural hills, mesa, bed, valleys, like this. You can see these are some landforms, and these landforms we categorize, and this is shown in the which are the area of pediment having the, so you can see this area of pediment having the good prospect. These are the dendration, you can see the dendration, these are mesa, and but you can these are the pediplanes, see these are the. So in the second or third slide, so how this structural denudation, like deposition landform and prospect of that particular landform in terms of groundwater prospect. What we predict, this area having the maximum pediment, the prospect, groundwater prospect should be high on the basis of the early research. Whether really after research, taking the samples, groundwater flow, and some soil characteristics, is high or low? If high, so whatever you have put, what is the hypothesis, what is your research question, what you assume is true. If not, which are the other parameters, which are the other controlling factors for the prospect? So that's why this landform characteristics, not only the landform in 3 categories, but the detailed characteristics are required for this particular, and that's why. So structural hills. So which type of material is there? If thin soil, so thin soils means soil characteristics. Which type of characteristics? Bare rocks. It's like structural landform. These are the general means you can say the study area. This structural landform means there are various landforms, but in the Kara basin, observe this structure hill, this lineament, dike, mesa bed, then dendritic landform, some dendritic hills are observed, pediments of peneplains observed, and the valley fields, basically river beds, alluvial plains are observed, and this the surface material and the agricultural crops, and they are holding the water, and that's why penetration in the water is high. So like this landforms, and if you see the river section, if you see you go back, so how this landforms and what is the prospect, and when able to get the prospect in terms of groundwater potential. Okay, so this is a groundwater potential zones on the basis of landform and characteristic. So this is a no groundwater or less groundwater zone, and the upper catchment area, this is a hilly denudation area. This is the very low by the water runoff because and if you see the good groundwater potential, this is the river bed basin and the valley fields. Some valley fields are the alluvial. Means you have the good potential. Moderate this agriculture ones having the pediments where you can observe some crops. Means this groundwater potential zones how it is scored. Means the groundwater potentials with that particular landform, and you can actually calculate. And in the third slide, I have said what is the runoff, what is specific in there, then balance groundwater with the help of runoff, recharge, and you have the balance groundwater. And this particular area you can delineate and you can calculate the balance groundwater, but balance groundwater not available only here. So in this particular, in between two valleys, this valley fields are there. So these are the valley fields are there. Means the availability of water in terms of various prospects, the regions you can delineate. And I already said for this for cost checking we use the groundwater fluctuation studies. Whatever we have accepted, whatever you have said. So pre-monsoon and post-monsoon for 30 wells in that map I have shown the equally distributed locations of that well, which is samples analyzed for the chemical properties from pH to SAR values. For that particular 30 wells, we took the pre and post-monsoon. The depth of well that determines the water flow. Means pre-monsoon, what is the depth of BGL, below the groundwater? The depth of water, and after post-monsoon, the well with the all water recharge, and so all this gives continuous 3 years. They gives the idea about the groundwater flow. The area which is having the high prospector, they are recharged, and the pre-monsoon condition, these wells you can see in the next, some photographs are also there. You can see the condition of well. So pre-monsoon, post-monsoon water level fluctuation also the consideration for the groundwater prospect and the particular landforms which are responsible for the no water availability or low or moderate or good water availability. This actually they are the same villages, same latitude, only the pre-post. January 14, May 14, October 14, we have another. So these are the level we observe. This is 2.5 means from the below the groundwater, and this is the observe what you observe. You see the water column. You can see the water column means below the groundwater. If the water column is upper, so your total depth is very less. This is a condition where well is having post monsoon. This is a condition where well is pre-monsoon. It's very deep. And see, and this is the actually groundwater fluctuation. All this you can see pre-monsoon, post-monsoon, pre-monsoon, post-monsoon. Let's see, and this is actual. This is the actual recharge. You can see this minus. This is actual recharge, and this recharge again correlate with superimposed with the groundwater prospect zones, and you can get the clue. So this is the actually groundwater minus or groundwater, what that particular region or particular condition. So out of this total geographical area, the potable groundwater, potable but critical in condition, because not only the available groundwater, but the available groundwater in terms of potability, available groundwater in terms of agriculture, available groundwater in terms of domestic. So here for the potability, so out of total available groundwater in percentage, the critical condition 50% water in terms of potability. Critical condition, how this critical condition groundwater can become a potable groundwater, or it should not convert into non-potable groundwater. So this is actually, so which type of strategies, how this critical condition into the potable condition groundwater. So this is required, not only the quantification of groundwater available, but how this and this is actually basic, and that's some conclusions you can have. You can see the which are the factors, and these are conclusions. So the same time I will show you the another one before we are going to discuss. I will show you this one. Oh, this is actually we have given. So here how is only the landform characteristics with the here I can show you the particular this layers for small paper presentation. Then I can oh this is so how the various this is trim density we have considered, this is land use, and here you can see the distribution of clay, distribution of sand, distribution. You can see first I will show you all these parameters: water holding capacity, bulk density. These are soil characteristics in that particular region which is having the high potential zones, the region which is having the low potential, region which is having the moderate potential, the soil samples, the already collected soil sample, and on the basis of this is a textural map. This not this is so you can see the stream density map with the and how this stream density and all this soil map with the textural like this. You can see the area which is having the clay site 12 to 28 class maximum 70%. 70% area is in between this particular clay, and how this 70% area is responsible for the prospect. How the sand, which is having more than 84% area, that 35% area is having the classification of sand more than 80. So these are the classes decided, and on the basis of these classes, these are the soil characteristics. Again, soil we have the I am showing here only the this 6 parameters like this: clay, sand, silt, porosity, water holding capacity, and bulk density. And on the basis of this, this is the actual texture map. Means which region is having the sandy loam sand, which region, and how this sandy loam and groundwater potential, and then groundwater potential, how the particular groundwater potential available in that suppose sandy loam site in terms of potability for human being, in terms of domestic, in terms of agriculture. Means not only the soil characteristics and potential, but how this landforms having different type of soil and soil characteristic for the potability. And here you can see the total percentage. If you see the Kara basin, the clay loam soil percentage is 20 more than 25%, and gravelly sandy loam is 25%. Other soil and the basis of soil analysis or soil sample, these are the actually very less. So this is a map, and you can see these are the landforms we already discussed how these landforms and their soil in the particular that landforms, and then these are the landforms with that pediplane. Landform is because pediplane and the soil characteristic. Delineation hills, the soil on that particular delineation hill area, the soil characteristic. Valley fills, the samples from the soil, that valley fills, soil characteristics, and uh, water potential, groundwater potential. Means like this, you have this again, and of course with the landforms percentage, the denudation percentage in area in that particular area, how much percentage of denudation hills are there, how much percentage of structural hills are there in terms of area, independent, and then you can have this groundwater levels. You can see the groundwater levels, and what I have shown you in that groundwater level, the fluctuation, you can see this levels, means diameter of that particular well, and the depth, total depth we have observed, and the measure. These are the total depth, and out of this total depth, observed depth is 10.7, means pre-monsoon condition. Means you can see from the water column from the bottom. Means you can observe, you can see, means the out of total depth. See, you can see the 14, approximately 15-meter depth is there, and when measure the depth is 10 point, means this is the post monsoon condition, and you can observe the water column. And at the same time, even in the pre-monsoon, means when the summer season, how these are the areas, and we can plot. These are the actual pre-monsoons with the help of water level from 3 to 5 meters, water levels, then 11. This is water level October, means pre-monsoon, post-monsoon, same area, same, you can see, because this is zone of runoff, this is zone of saturation, this is zone of recharge. Saturation, you can see, means how this pre and post monsoon groundwater levels also reflect with landform, soil characteristic, and prospect with recharge calculation. Means flow, how these flows are there. Groundwater flows in terms of, there are again scientific repercussion, means you can have that bore well with the pump and how much time required to recharge that particular river. But practically or scientifically, it will take time and observation others. But this pre and post monsoon, of course, for this you need to be the which season or which particular days or date in the pre monsoon you consider. Sometimes May may be a pre monsoon, sometimes April may be a pre monsoon. So like that. Sometimes the late arrival of monsoon, so November may be a post monsoon. So depend on that particular, also gives the clue. General clues means for the ground thing, and the having the observation means you can have such type of observation or such type of, you can see here, and these are the depth in meter axis, and on the basis of the water column, means you can see this some rivers, there are some wells, they have the very deep wells. Of course, out of this 30, there are 7 8 GSDA well, groundwater survey and development, GSDA wells, and we correlate the GSDA well with their own sample, then their own fluctuation, and our 3 years fluctuation. They're the almost same because the calculation. So these are the samples for the flow, and this can give an clue for the recharge. And again, this may be a natural groundwater recharge zone. So which area is having the natural groundwater recharge? Means maybe a potential. So these are the regions, and this having the valley place region. Means again, this green is the only recharge zone. Means recharge percentage, recharge amount is here high, here high. Here is recharge. But the proportion, quantification. So these are the recharge zones. These are the recharge zones. You can have such recharge characteristic, and of course you can control on the basis of this. And then on the basis of this recharge and on the basis of other characteristics, you can again calculate the potential zones. If you superimpose all this on this Kara basin, then you can have high groundwater potential zones. These are the high groundwater potential zones. No groundwater here, the no groundwater area divide water divide. This is the moderate groundwater agriculture field. Means cross checking with various aspect or with various regions, various criteria. You can have this particular, and see, and these are some conclusion which made on the basis of this groundwater prospect or groundwater potential. And you can have another one because giving you the, you can see, just a minute, one more, and then we okay, this is one paper in China where this is again same, but here only groundwater fluctuation map we have generated. You can see for the fluctuation, if you see the only DM and C. Well information, measure, observe and depth. Measure, observe and depth means how you represent. And these are the actual location. And then you can have the pre-monsoon. 30 days, only the water levels. This is post-monsoon. This is pre-monsoon. This is again post-monsoon. And this is calculation of zone. Means value superimposes, and this is means if you see, this is actually groundwater fluctuation water levels in May 14. This is October 14, and then this is for January 14, and then May 14, and then October 14 overlays, and May 14 overlays. Means the zones you can calculate with the help of, okay. And of course the recharge zones on the basis of that May and October, runoff zone May and October, zone of saturation on the basis of May and October. This is for consecutively 3 years, and on the basis of that, which village you have to be concentrate for the high and low values. Right? They have given them the Loni Bhapkar having the post-monsoon region, the average value. Then for the park of then again Loni Bhapkar. Means if you see the depletion of water level within the saturated horizon, which gives an idea about the overexploitation. So how you stop the overexploitation? So in that particular geomorphic region, which villages and which type of agricultural practices there are, and how you can stop, or you can give, or you can counsel them for the these are your indication of overutilization, overexploitation of water for your agriculture purposes. What are the side effects and how? Means the result or conclusion practically how you correlate with it. So just I want to show that that earlier last point, just a minute. I want to show how this is a water block from water column from the bottom. You can see this is a post-monsoon condition. If you see the pre-monsoon, the same village, same locations. So the water level, pre and post-monsoon water level fluctuation, soil characteristics, of that particular landforms and landform characteristic with geomorphic or morphometric assessment. All these three parameters gives you an prospect of that particular groundwater potentials in the region with that particular location of villages, and after the calculation or the available groundwater potential, categorize the groundwater in potable or non-potable for human beings. Second, the groundwater for domestic purpose, the groundwater for agricultural purpose, and you verify with all these aspects, and then this can be a useful for actually this is the results and other things I'm not going to discuss because these are the that particular observations, and this everything is available with our website also. This project is totally available, and you can have particular discussion on this topic. When I can elaborate, I can discuss only that these are the values and how these are. But being a research student, PhD student, you are registered. So I'm not interested to show you that why these values are and how. So on the basis you can calculate. So how you convert that potable or critical condition water in the. So these are the basic. Actually, I want to. Tell you. So now you can ask me. The practical actually we will all work for 3 years continue for project, and later for the students who are associated with this PhD works. One student she worked for the soil characteristics and groundwater potential, and one another student, and of course two of them able to produce a paper research article in the UGC care list, and one is from the Springer. So of course the hard work and the practical work that gives an idea. So this is so what I today want to say you to take an certain maybe a small project. That project using an idea how to work for the research project, maybe at 1 lakh or 50,000 the amount that can be utilized for your research. You can purchase some equipment small, or you can attend the conference or workshop which is related to your research topic, and not I think your institute not supposed to do 100% or some part of maybe a grant for the attending. So, and of course when you start the project or something, so you can able to. So this is idea. That's why groundwater potentials from particularly the landform first, then landform characteristic with the soil characteristics second, then third, groundwater fluctuation pre and post monsoon, then soil characteristics, groundwater prospect, and all this together with groundwater qualities in different purposes, domestic health, and the regions which is critically high dangerous condition, and on the basis of that you can have a particular region. So this is actually today's my agenda to all of your research students. Now you can free to ask or discuss.
Yeah, the session is open for discussion for the participants.
And of course you see not necessarily, one thing I want to say, not necessarily for working on the geomorphology, so you should take a research project on geomorphology. Not necessarily, whatever whichever funding agency available, you can take project and some part you can convert yourself in your interested area. So no, I am working on geomorphology. Oh, I am working on human geography. How I can project from the DST. Not necessary. I'm physical geographer. So you apply small projects, and that can be, you are bound to be complete, preferably with your PhD area. And if you want to ask something about the proposal, because only day before yesterday, 2, 3 our colleagues from institute, they asked me how to write a proposal for the Icssr. So I'm very much happy to share the information to all of them, because nowadays it's very easy to apply Icssr, because Icssr there are 2 schemes, even DST schemes are there. You can take your guide as a director and you as a co-director if problem is there. You simultaneously apply for the, with the help of your guide, and you work. Co-director also have the right to attend the programs and they can participate. There are topics, if sir permits me, I can share the topics of research program. At least you may let unmute someone and tell, have you gone through the topics which are associated in the research programs in Icssr, not project. So project, they are the broad areas only. Anyone?
Sir, you can please share with the participants. That's
Yes. The program I'm sharing, just meet. Even I can show you the project which just 2, 3 days ago I have completed. I can show you just. And I can. This is Icssr guideline. In this guideline, you have here research project. First, I will. In this research project, there are general guidelines for research project and research programs. So research program, first I will show you the research project. See, these are the areas. Sociology. Here we have the social geography, population studies, but other allied social science disciplines, in which water, health, environment, anything you can comes under environment. So your topic, you correlate with the environment. Their interest is only that if you are working on the geomorphology and water resources, how you, that societal benefit or water qualities and on health means. So this is a project. In this project particularly, we have the 2 types of project. One is the major project, which amounts 5 to 15 lakhs. Minor project amounts for 5 lakhs up to the 12 months. These are the guidelines. Okay, I will directly show you the proposal which I have submitted last week. Again here, see, this is project, but here is a program is also there. These are the attachment. This program, you have the, you can see the topic. First, pandemic. So pandemic and GIS mapping of various type of, you can say the COVID patients, number of admitted, number of recover in Pune city or any city. You can correlate this, how GIS mapping for the COVID means spread, spatio-temporal worldwide spread in COVID. You have temporal first and second, or you can have the month wise. So how geography here, health infrastructure specifically, see, we have the smart city also, we have the migration, we have the research topic here, Here again, see, for geography specific, science and technology for digital data, big data, again disaster our topic, climate change, implication of sustainable development goals. This is our topic. Okay. Then again here, demographic for social geographers. Then you can have one more. This is food and nutritional. This is again some part. Then we have environment, climate, disaster, and then this this socio-demographic dynamics and their implications. Those who are in the economic geography or human geography. So these are the last date. For this, you have to log in here. You can show you. Here is a login to apply. You can apply here. You have to create a password. Just a minute. I can show you.
So may I interrupt for a moment?
Yes, yes, definitely.
So this is Lalit Thackeray.
Yes.
Can I know what is the difference between project and program, research project and program?
A program essential criteria is you the applicant should be a associate professor, and program value is from 15 lakhs to onward. For the project, there are two categories, one minor and another is major. For minor, there is no condition, up to 5 lakhs. For the major, 5 to 10 lakhs or up to 15 lakhs, but not necessarily you should be a associate professor. This is a basic difference. And for project, you have the broad disciplines like human geography, social geography, or other. For programs, they give the specific list and you correlate that list with your topic.
Okay, because even project have that broad category like social geography and all.
And last line is that you can apply. You can
Other allied.
any other. Only you may be a pure physical geographer. Only correlate. If climate change is there, you correlate with human health or one aspect. For societal and social, you have to only correlate. One objective should be like that. I have completed project in Icssr. So I'm a physical geographer, but that time I have converted myself how to this digital and smart city. Now the project I have applied, I can show you just a minute. Sir, आहे ना वेळ?
आहे सर वेळ आहे.
एक 5 मिनिटात दाखवतो म्हणजे त्याने लॉग इनच करून दाखवतो म्हणून.
Definitely. No issues.
These are all, and here if you start, this is this program I have already applied. You can, this is I have applied. Okay, this is means this I have applied, and you can see the early information. This is how many PhD student guided, all these things, and here the publications, and this is topic. See, mapping of COVID impact on employment status of particular housemaids. My one colleague is in Pune municipal. And then abstract, you need abstract, then you need major work review, international level, national level. So like this, then you have to be identification of research gap, this objective of proposed study, then major research question, that is hypothesis, and proposed methodology, then and like this, the new generation and this relevance, the milestone, first 3 months, then next 3 months, like this, and this is the research budget. I can show you just a minute. Here, dashboard, you have this all this scheme. Even for you, there are schemes, data collection. Even employed teachers can assess amount for the data collection. Okay, so this is travel grant. This is you can have this various aspect. You log in yourself. Okay. We'll show you just a minute. Okay, and log out here. I can show you the proposal directly. This just a minute and see here. See, this proposal you have prepared, you keep ready with proposal like this, and you have to upload only. Not necessary, even you can assess a grant 50,000 for the collecting your data. And this is for even assistant professor, those who are already employed, they can assess. So this we have. I have utilized maximum grants from the Icssr. The budget we have already discussed. So this is.
So have you stopped sharing, sir?
I don't know. Just minute.
And see the screen.
Just minute.
You just stopped screen.
Just minute. I will show you. Just is it okay? Proposal.
Yes, now we can see. Yes.
See, abstract. You prepare abstract. Then this introduction to proposal. Already limits are given. Yes. Then you need to be major work review, international level, national level. Not necessarily 2, 3. You have to. I keep ready. If I selected, then this will be ready. The national level. This identification of research gap, then objective, hypothesis or research question, methodology, probable, of course, innovation or path breaking, expected outcome, and new data. And proposal we have submitted for the 20 lakhs. Let us hope. And now I will stop the sharing. We will discuss. So you apply at time 2 or 3 for the data collection, for the other purpose, for visiting the library. You can apply for even visiting the library, and of course with your guide. So all your guides are associated. Your topic, you give to your guide and you become a co-director. For minor project, there is no problem. because UGC is not giving any projects now. That's why.
So really they give you the funds for
Yes, this definitely, definitely. Really means they are giving, and for the age below the 40, they are giving. In my university, the visiting professors are there. They give opportunity. You apply for the ICSR, not entirely for, but publication for collecting data. They give the 40,000, 50,000 for collecting data.
and then we have to submit the proposal that how we have
Yes,
spent
yes,
for
yes,
their
yes, 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 yes,
visits. Okay.
yes. If you want to visit a JNU for your research work, so of course your travel and the other at least 50% you can cover. If they are providing data, they are not giving you the airfare, but second AC or depend on they can give.
Okay, okay, sir. And also for the instruments, if we want to buy.
You have to justify. That is, if data collection only they are giving. Instrument you have to apply for through the project, research project.
Okay, okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Just I want to correct myself what I heard from you. So those who are a PhD research student or MPhil PhD, MPhil research student, for their data collection, the ICSR gives the funding.
Yes, that's why those who are registered for the PhD student and for the need of collecting your data, if you want to visit within India, even there is a provision to collect data from the abroad, but during the pandemic they have stopped. But you can able,
Okay.
though you are getting salary, you can able to.
Okay, that's great, sir. I have one question related to this. So whatever data we collect, is it necessary to give a copy to them or hand over any kind of data to them?
You have to acknowledge.
Okay.
And your proof is required. If you visit a library at JNU, so all proofs are the record.
So the data will remain with us till we finish
Yes,
our
yes,
work.
yes, yes. Data is remain with you only.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, any questions you have, you can please ask, sir. He's giving
My
some
email
very
ID and my mobile number is there. You can ask only the. You can first give me a WhatsApp message, and then you can. Because and even Professor Devan has my number and other things. You can free, no problem.
any questions you have regarding water, because that's a very important groundwater particular. That's a
Groundwater.
very important part of geography, and I think most of us are somewhere related to uh, water as an element in geography,
And this
irrespective of
entire project is also available on the website.
yeah.
Yes, indeed.
If we have finished with our questions, we can go ahead with the formal vote of thanks, please.
Yes, I think they have completed.
Yeah, who is supposed to be taking up the formal vote of thanks?
Yeah, sir, me.
Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your nice presentation. We have learned so many things about the geomorphology as well as hydrology and its impact on human society from your presentation. Besides, we learned how we can apply for the funding in ICSSR. This is also an important information which we learned from your end. On behalf of all the PhD students and the coordinator, I am very much thankful to you for your presentation, and we hope that in future again we will get you. Thank you, sir. Have a